What's that sound? It's For Amusement Only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. United had a unique feature in 3 of their bingos: Caravan, Starlet, and Stardust. This feature was called the Roto feature, not to be confused with the Roto target of Gottlieb fame. The Roto feature allowed for the 8 numbers surrounding the center number to rotate around. Controlled by a dial in the front of the game, you could move the numbers left or right in order to make a winning combination. These games boasted a time tree which would lock out that mechanism after a certain ball was shot. Again, unfortunately, I've never worked on a United game, but if I were to purchase one, I think I would want one with this unique feature. This is a feature that Bally did not copy, and United, in most of their games, were either a single card or a 3-card or a 2-card bingo. And in one instance, they made a copy of the Magic Squares unit that Bally was using. But aside from that, this was the only way to mechanically reposition the numbers on the back box in a United game. It's also very unique and interesting to watch. The last game with a Roto feature was Caravan, I believe. That came out in 1956. Stardust also came out in 56, so I'm not sure which was first. Actually, to further confuse matters, they both came out in February of 1956. All 3 of these games have really very interesting artwork, and they would be excellent additions to anyone's collection, I think. Beyond that, they have the reliable mechanisms that United was well known for, especially in mid-1956. They had been producing amusement devices for a very long time and were making some of the most desirable ball bowlers at this time. So the Roto feature, again, would be highlighted in red on the back box. There would also be a time tree, which was shown typically on the right side of the back glass, and it would tell you when your control was going to be locked out. Now, the numbers that would rotate around 16, which is always the center number on any standard bingo layout. 13, 22, 18, 21, 19, 12, 20, and 14 were the numbers that would rotate. Each of the 3 games that sported this Roto feature had additional features which made them unique. Beyond that, the artwork on each is totally different, and I'm definitely in the market for one of these, and in fact, I know of a Starlet for sale, but it's too far away from me, unfortunately, so I have not gone out and picked it up. The United games, since they don't have triple deck scoring, rely on single sets of advancing odds. But as with the typical Bally single sets of odds, the artwork is integrated very well into the back glasses. Caravan, for example, has a beautiful back glass with the advancing odds being integrated very well into dancing harem girls' special robes, as well as a palm tree and some tents in a jar. It's just a very attractive back glass. Now, United Stardust is unique in that it has actually 2 separate Roto units because there are 2 separate bingo cards. I suspect that it is fairly easy to make a winner on this game, although it's probably one of those just one more nickel style games because although it appears easy due to the time tree and the lockout in the ability to spin your numbers, it's probably fairly likely that you won't make good winning combinations. These United games would lock out the balls either before 4th or before 5th. There was no after 5th. So the Roto unit was disabled after the last ball was shot regardless. So you weren't allowed to reposition your numbers after the end of the game like you were in some Bally games. Well, I hope to own one of these Roto games one day, and honestly, all 3 of them are very attractive for different reasons. They all have great artwork, but the scoring potential on each is totally different. Well, thank you again for joining me. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com. And you can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, via RSS, on Facebook at For Amusement Only Podcast, on Twitter at Bingo Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at nbaldridge. And you can listen to us directly on our website, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. But don't forget, tomorrow is our 100th episode. Don't forget to check back on our website for something special.